Hey, beautiful souls! Today, we are kicking off a fascinating journey into a topic that shapes every single one of us: attachment styles. Have you ever wondered why some relationships feel effortless and secure, while others feel like an emotional tug of war? Why might you crave closeness but fear it all at the same time, or pull away just when things seem to start getting serious? The answer lies in how we are wired for connection. Over the next few episodes, we shall explore each attachment style: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, with real life examples to make it relatable and easy to understand. But first, let's start at the beginning. Where does all this come from? And how does it shape the way we love, connect, and navigate relationships as adults? Let's dive in. So, attachment theory began with the brilliant mind of a man called John Bowlby, who believed that the bond we form with our primary caregiver in childhood lays the foundation for how we connect with others throughout life. He called this our attachment system, a survival mechanism wired into us as humans. His ideas were brought to life by Mary Ainsworth, who conducted the famous strange situation experiment in the 1970s. Here's how it worked. A toddler and their mother were placed in a room together. The mother left briefly and a stranger entered. Then the mother returned, and Ainsworth closely observed how the child responded to the caregiver's return. This experiment revealed three main attachment styles. Number 1, secure attachment. When the caregiver returned, these children greeted them warmly, sought comfort, and quickly calmed down. This showed they trusted their caregiver and felt safe exploring their environment. The second one was anxious attachment. These children became intensely distressed when their caregiver left and had trouble calming down when they returned. They sought comfort but seemed unsure they could truly rely on their caregiver, clinging while also showing signs of frustration. The third one was avoidant attachment. These children appeared indifferent when their caregiver left, and they avoided them when they returned. They seemed calmed on the surface, but their behavior revealed that they had learned to suppress their need for comfort, likely because their caregiver had been emotionally unavailable. But what about the children who didn't fit neatly in any of these categories? That's where disorganized attachment style comes in. Disorganized attachment was identified later by one of Mary Ainsworth's graduate students. These children displayed behaviors that seemed contradictory. They would approach their caregiver but freeze, or show signs of fear and confusion when seeking comfort. What made these children different? Trauma. For many of them, their caregiver was both a source of comfort and a source of fear, creating a deep internal conflict. Disorganized attachment is often linked to early experiences of neglect, abuse, or other forms of trauma. These children may develop a mix of both anxious and avoidant tendencies. They crave connection, but fear it at the same time. In terms of numbers, research estimates that about 50% of people have a secure attachment style, while 20% or 25% are avoidant. About 20% are anxious, and around 5 to 10% are disorganized. Some researchers have noted that these percentages may shift depending on the cultural factors of how attachment is measured, but the general trends remain consistent. So let's go back to where it all begins, those first 2 years of life that are often called the formative years. This is when the foundation of your attachment style is built. Human babies are born wired to connect. Since they can't use words, they rely on synchronizing movements and emotions with their caregiver to form a bond. Think about it. When a baby smiles, we instinctively smile back, isn't it? When they giggle, well, we'll do anything to make them laugh again. This beautiful feedback loop teaches babies how to attune to another person and to regulate their emotions. It's how they learn to feel safe, understood, and cared for. But when this process is disrupted, whether due to neglect, inconsistency, or trauma, the child misses out on that secure, joyful connection. This can leave them struggling to regulate emotions and to cope with challenges and build healthy relationships later in life. They may carry this pattern into adulthood, finding it harder to trust others or navigate complex interactions. If you had an anxious attachment, you might carry a fear of abandonment and think, I have to work extra hard to be loved. If you had an avoidant attachment style, you might believe, I can't rely on anyone, I'm better off on my own. And for those with disorganized attachment, the internal conflict might sound like, I crave connection, but I'm terrified of being hurt. These narratives can guide how we interact with others, influencing how we handle conflict, intimacy, and trust. But the good news? Once we become aware of these patterns, we can start rewriting the stories we tell ourselves. In the coming episodes, we'll dive into each attachment style: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, to give you a clearer picture of how they show up in real life and how they influence our relationships. Understanding your attachment style isn't about placing blame, it's about creating a roadmap for growth, healing, and healthier connections. Whether you are working on yourself, your friendships, or your romantic relationships, this journey is all about stepping into the connection you deserve. Attachment styles are the blueprint for how we love, connect, and navigate the world. By understanding them, we can start to heal and create relationships that feel safe, fulfilling, and joyful. If this resonates, share it with somebody who might need to hear it. And tell me in the comment section, what is the one thing you've noticed about your own connection patterns? Until next time, remember, together we heal, together we grow, and together we thrive. You've got this.